All right, today we're diving into one of history's most tantalizing puzzles. We're talking about a set of whispers from ancient Crete, all captured on one single mysterious object. I mean, just think about that for a second. What if an entire lost world left behind just one message? All their stories, their knowledge, everything squeezed into this one thing we found thousands of years later, and we have absolutely no idea what it says. We just can't understand it. Well, that unreadable message, that ghost from the past, it's very, very real. And we call it the Phaistos Disc. So, okay, what are we actually looking at here? Well, it's this disc made of fired clay. It was dug up back in the early 1900s on the island of Crete, and it dates all the way back to the Minoan civilization, so we're talking around 1700 BC. But here's what makes it so mind-bendingly unique. Both sides are covered in this spiral of symbols, but they weren't carved in. No, they were stamped into the wet clay. It's kind of like an ancient form of printing. And the crazy part? We've never found the stamps or, well, anything else like it. It's this total one-off that just hints at a world we've completely lost, a language we can't read, and a story that for now is totally silent. So, you can imagine the problem, right? You have this one-of-a-kind artifact written in a script that appears nowhere else. So, where do you even begin? It's a huge challenge, and the hunt for its meaning has basically sent researchers down two very different paths. And this has really split the people trying to figure it out. On one side, you've got this almost romantic approach, right? Chasing down ancient legends and local myths in the very ruins where the disc was discovered. And then, on the other side, you have the pure, methodical, careful science of it all. The linguists, just poring over every single tiny glyph, trying to find a pattern, any pattern at all. And, this quote really gets to the heart of the problem for both sides. We're talking about almost 4,000 years. Think about that. Time has literally chewed away at the memory, at the context, at all the little clues that might help us. The few things that are left, well, they're barely whispers. So, okay, even with all these challenges, what have people come up with? I mean, if we could somehow read it, what might it be telling us? Well, the theories pretty much fall into two major camps. One is, super practical, and the other is way more cultural, more profound. One really fascinating idea comes from a historian who suggests, hey, what if this isn't a poem or a prayer? What if it's actually a piece of civic planning? Maybe it's a warning, etched by Bronze Age officials about very real dangers, like maybe a sinking coastline, or even a list of forgotten rulers they needed to remember. So that leaves us with these two really different possibilities, right? On one hand, could it be a practical warning sign, something meant to keep people safe? Or is it something else entirely? A sacred archive, maybe, a place to store the soul of their civilization, their ancient rites, their most important rituals, all the things that made them who they were. And that's the core dilemma. We have these compelling theories, these great ideas, but the disc itself, it just offers nothing back. The symbols stay completely silent. All of our careful science, all of that romantic searching, it's all met with this just eerie, unbroken silence from the past. Which kind of leads to a bigger idea, doesn't it? Maybe the real value of the Phaistos Disc isn't even in what it says. Maybe it's about what it represents to us right now. It's like history left a door just a tiny bit ajar, inviting us in. But for the life of us, we just can't seem to push it open. And because of that, the Phaistos Disc really becomes more than just an artifact. It stops being a simple piece of fired clay, It's not just another archaeological find. Instead, it becomes a mirror for our own hunger, right? Our deep, fundamental need to unlock history's sealed chambers, to just hear the voices of the people who came before us. In a way, the disc is the ultimate locked room mystery. And we're not just talking about some casual curiosity here. This is an object that genuinely haunts scholars, the people who've dedicated their entire lives to understanding the ancient world. For them, it's this constant physical reminder sitting on a shelf that says, you still don't know everything. Which, leaves us with a final thought. Maybe some mysteries just aren't meant to be solved. Maybe they're just meant to be wondered at, to keep us humble, to keep us asking questions. So I'll leave you with this. When you look at this silent, spiraling message from so long ago, what do you think it says?